This week's film is North by Northwest, directed by Alfred Hitchcock and released in 1959, and starring Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, and James Mason. North by Northwest is an archetypal example of an influential mode of cinematic storytelling called the classical Hollywood narrative. Stephen Prince, the author of our textbook, discusses the classical Hollywood narrative in Chapter 7, The Nature of Narrative in Film, which I've asked you to read for next week. If there are three words that can describe the American cinematic tradition, those three words would be story, story, story. Films constructed in the classical mode seek to absorb the viewer as deeply as possible into the world of the film, to keep the viewer focused on the characters and events unfolding on the screen. Every aspect of the film's structure, every element in the film, the lighting, the cinematography, the acting, the editing, the soundtrack, all of these elements serve the narrative, and they're designed to keep the viewer engaged and focused on the story. Classically structured films are seductive. Watching them is, in a sense, too easy. In drawing us so completely into the world of the story, in tricking us so convincingly that the two-dimensional world projected on the screen is real and extends beyond the edges of the frame, these films encourage us to be passive viewers. Technique becomes invisible. We don't notice the edits, the cutaways, the camera movements, and the continuity mistakes because we are so caught up in the details of the story. How will Elliot manage to hide E.T. from his parents and the authorities? How will Dorothy manage to escape from the Wicked Witch of the West? Will Marty be able to save Debbie from the murderous intentions of her Uncle Ethan? And can the Rebel Alliance destroy the Death Star before it blows up their planet? Serious film analysis requires a double consciousness. Hollywood films have trained us as viewers and consumers of film narratives to focus only on what is being told, that is, the story, the content, and to ignore how it is being told, the structure, the form, the technique. Developing this double consciousness, being aware of both form and content simultaneously, is not easy to do, especially when you're watching a film specifically designed to render its form invisible. But this double consciousness is crucial to film analysis. As you watch this Cold War action spy thriller, allow yourself to get wrapped up in the story and in the characters. But at the same time, try to force yourself to pay attention to Hitchcock's storytelling and visual style. How does he get us involved and interested in these people? How does he encourage us to identify with certain characters and distance us from others? Can you spot moments where he strategically reveals or withholds information from the viewer to create suspense or explain events? North by Northwest, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, 1959. I hope you enjoy the film.